welcome to Black Vestors Hot Take. Here we're going to give you a quick rundown on what to look at in the market and potentially anything that you could be looking at to make a trade plan, get into. But basically we just want to give you a quick rundown. Maybe it'll help you start your morning on the way to work, or maybe it'll help you in between on lunch break. So let's get into it. First, we're going to start with QQQ. That's the NASDAQ Composites ETF. And basically, if you're tracking anything technology-wise, this is where you want to start to look at. Overall, you'll see that since last July, we've been pretty bullish, and we've hit all-time highs. We had a recent pullback, but now we're working our way up. So when I'm first starting to trade, I'm looking at the QQQ when I'm trying to make my plan for anything technology related, which could be your Microsoft, Facebook, Tesla, AMD, NVIDIA, etc. So let's go ahead and zoom on in here. Now my trade plan for the QQQ would be that once we break this blue line here, I'm getting in. I'm getting in lightly though. Once we hit the green line and break it, I will add to my position to ride this trade up to 340, and at 340 I'll start to trim some, with my ultimate target being previous highs, so 342.91, 342.80 area. What I would do at that point, I plan on trimming some, and once I trim there, anytime my price breaks a target and pushes to the next and falls back to a previous target, that becomes support. That support is then, if it is broken, I'm cutting that trade. Keep in mind, when I'm looking at QQQ, I'm not necessarily just looking for options or shares in QQQ. I'm also thinking about other technology related sectors. So this is what I'm looking at that's giving me a bullish sense for the upcoming week into the other trades that I will be bringing to you next. Here we're looking at Tesla. Tesla, same thing. Once we break this blue level here, I'm going to go ahead and grab some more calls on it. We break this green level, I'll load up to my full position size and then push into the 671 area. At this point, I'll be looking to trim some of my trade, collect those profits. You want to pay yourself when you can, with an ultimate target of 686.93. I don't necessarily think we'll hit it this upcoming week because it's short, but within the coming week or so, I do expect to see us get in this area. Any pullback, remember, if we break one of these levels, I'm looking to close the trade. The market looks like it's strong. We had a nice rebound here on Tesla, and we're working our way back up. Next, we're looking at AMD. It's a chip company. Same thing here. The trade plan, we break this blue line, we're pushing up into the green area. I plan on adding to size here. This is where we have an important zone, this 85.72. This could be a longer term trade. I'm potentially looking 3 to 4 weeks out on this particular move, but I will be taking profits along the way should I enter this trade. The next one we will look at CGC, not technology related, but a sector that will probably be important for us to look at. Reason being, we're seeing a lot of legalization going on, and due to that, we're starting to see more interest in it. It had a nice decline, but it's starting to have a rounding bottom. Once again, my blue line is telling me where I plan on starting to add to my position or get inside, and once we hit the green line, I'm looking for a full position. From there, I'm going to carry it up to the yellow area, and then we have this orange box. That's where I'm expecting some type of bounce or a pullback, just because it's made such a bullish move. The red line is ultimately my target, but we also have 3 other target areas as well. So should legalization and all those things continue to go in our favor, I do expect before the end of the year we see CGC somewhere in the 516 area.
It's Jordan from the Urban Traders, and I'm here to bring you all my weekly game plan, where I take you all through my trade ideas and charts for the upcoming week. And this week I want to bring you guys 3 charts. It'll be SPY, BA, and Tilray. And for those of you who don't know, the S&P 500 ETF is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index, which is made up of the largest 500 companies, which serves as the ultimate sample size of the market, because in this ETF or index, you have companies made up from every industry and sector. So as we take a look at SPY over the month of May, we want to take a look at the weekly chart so that we can try to get an understanding of what the stock has done in the month of May to get an understanding of what it's going to do in the month of June. So when we look at May, we see that the stock opened up in the 418s in the first week and closed in the 421s, getting up into the 422s. In the second week of the month, we opened up in the 422s, getting as high as 423.85, falling down to a 3% correction low of 404, but ultimately closing in the 416s. In the third week of the month, we opened up at 416, got as low as 405, then got back into the 414 area. And last week, we actually opened up at 417, got as high as 421, and then closed at 420.04 so that we could end the month green. Now, this green weekly candle is confirmed by our green monthly candle, which is a lower long shadow candle, which is a confirmation of previous trend. And in the previous 3 months trend, we see that February, March, and April were all green bullish candles. So the lower long shadow candle will confirm that we'll continue to go green, and I look to see 421.98, 424.19, 427.60, and 431.61 going into the month of June and into July. Now, the next stock that I want to bring you guys is BA. And BA is an aerospace company, and Boeing was on its way up until this past week when the FAA said that they had to define some of the language they were using because they were using too broad of context. So the stock got up to 252 on Friday and then pulled back to 247. But I think that over the next 6 weeks, we can see Boeing go from about 247 all the way back up into the 272, 280 area where we did see it in the middle of March. Boeing is definitely a big reopening name, and I think as the travel sector starts to warm up, so will the Boeing stock. And then the last stock that I want to bring you guys is Tilray. And as we see the cannabis industry starting to emerge more with federal regulation blossoming, I think that Tilray is a stock that we can all start to buy here at the 16s and hold for the long term. Definitely think it's a stock that goes back up into the 20s and 30s over the summertime. While I don't think that it'll get back to the 67 February high that it had, I do think that if you hold Tilray over the next 2 years, you can definitely see, your money double or maybe triple. So those are the 3 stocks that I have for you guys this week. Thank y'all for stopping by the weekly game plan.